Welcome to the Careers by Jenn podcast, episode 295. This time on the podcast, Jenn talks about why hard work alone won't advance your career. Oh, is this about that whole competency thing?
Hey, I'm Jenn Swanson, and Careers by Jenn is where I help you to get the job, love your work, and advance your career, and I talk about wellness and success topics too. This podcast is actually ending production after episode 300. However, you can find me over at Careers by Jenn on YouTube, where I will be continuing to share career tips, advice, wellness, and success topics, and much, much more. It's been a 10-year run here on Careers by Jenn on the podcast, and until we are at episode 300, I invite you to continue listening. Go back and listen to the archives, and please enjoy this show. Thank you so much for being here. Are you working hard? I know that I am, and I'm tired, but life and your career is not all about hard work alone. There's more, and that's the topic of today's podcast, my friend. Thanks for being here. The Careers by Jenn podcast is recorded on the unceded and traditional territory of the Coast Salish people, including the Katzie, the Kwantlen, the Stolo, and the Coquitlam First Nations. It's getting close. We are nearly at the point where this show is going to stop production for now. And it's kind of sad, and it's a little bit exciting too, because there's new things afoot. If you haven't already, please come over to the Careers by Jenn YouTube channel, and so that we can stay connected and so that you can still get free content on career and wellness topics as we move forward. So I really hope to see you over there. It's also easier for you to comment and interact with me over there. So I'm looking forward to that. I lost another close relative this last week. It's been quite a time. This early part of 2021. So I am dedicating this episode to my dear second cousin Val, who loved magnolia trees and sunshine and a cold glass of white wine. And so this one is for you, Val. Why hard work alone won't advance your career? What do you mean? Isn't hard work the key to success? Well, not exactly. It is, but it isn't that alone. And I would add that it depends. There is a great quote from Abraham Lincoln that goes something like this. If I had 6 hours to cut down a tree, I'd spend the first 4 sharpening the saw. I've seen it before written sharpening the axe, so depends on where you read this. But the point is that hard work helps, yes, but it has to be hard work doing the right things and doing smart things, being efficient and seeing the big picture and not just what is in front of you. Simply working longer hours and overtime or working all the time is not in itself going to help you. But it's an old adage, isn't it? Put in the work and you'll succeed. That has been sort of the formula for success for a really long time. There's a reason why they call that the grind. And as far as career advancement goes, hard work equaling success just by itself is an adage that is no longer always true. Now, I want to offer a disclaimer here, and it is this. It is quite possible to work extremely hard while at work and to have a life and to be successful in whatever way success means to you, whatever way being successful means to you. There are people who are able to do that. What I'm talking about is not that. What I am talking about is the idea that the only way to a promotion or to success, in whatever way you define that, in the workplace is through working your butt off all the time. That is what I am talking about. And I am all for hard work, my friend. I work hard a lot. I probably work too hard a lot. Too much, actually. But it takes more than just putting in the hours to be able to grow and to learn and to advance. Being busy for the sake of busy is not the badge of honor that it used to be. And you know what? Maybe it never actually was. Do you ever find yourself saying, "Oh, I'm busy. Oh, I'm busy. Oh, everything's good. I'm busy." Yeah, I'm trying to be careful about that. I think I did a whole episode about that at some point. But it's not all it's cracked up to be. There are better ways to get to where you want to be than just grinding. So I'm going to talk about a few things that hard work alone doesn't necessarily do for you. And I'm going to offer some things you can do to help as we go along here. And I also have a few recent YouTube videos on career advancement and success strategies on the channel. And all of the videos are fairly short. So check those out if you have time. There are at least 2 or 3, I think there might even be 4, on career advancement, getting there faster, success strategies. There's one for introverts. The first one I did on success strategies, I think somebody made the comment that it seemed like it was for extroverts, which is why I made one for introverts. Anyhow, hopefully it covers the realm, and hopefully you'll find something useful there if you have time to check those out. So what does working hard do? Well, by itself, it gets stuff done, sure. But it doesn't necessarily help you to make deep connections and grow your influence at work unless that is part of what it is that you are doing when we say you are working hard. When you say you are working hard. If that is part of what you do as your work, if you connect with people on a deep level, excellent, then that's helpful. But if that's not part of what you do, working hard, working late, working overtime, working through all your lunch breaks and your coffee breaks, working late every day, that is not necessarily going to connect you with people on a deep level. If you don't have time to stop and talk and connect and engage because you are too busy plowing on and your plate is too full, then you might have your head down in your own portfolio and be actually missing what else is happening around you. If people don't have time to get to know you or to connect with you, you may even get overlooked for advancement or opportunity. If people don't really know much about you because you're focused and zeroed in on what it is that you need to get done during your work, your shift, your day. Hard work and connection with others is really important and is really key. Working hard all the time can be also damaging to your personal life. What about rest? And what about rejuvenation? And what about time to just think and plan? What about growing in other areas of your life? What about friendship and family relationships and romantic ones? Not having time to create or nurture this area of your life can breed resentment and regret. And especially if you don't get the advancement that you desire, and in the meantime you have not prioritized or given as much time as you would have liked to those things in your life. If you've let the rest go, how you are in your personal life actually affects how you are in your soul, for lack of a better term, and in your body, in yourself, in your identity. And when you are discontent, stressed, tired, overworked, not seeing the results from all your hard work as far as advancement goes, and lonely on top of it, well, then begins overwhelm. And when overwhelm begins, it is a short road to burnout, and burnout is real. So you don't want to go down that road. You need to have that other aspect of you, because the thing is, you don't want to identify only with the work you do. Even if it's a passion, even if it's your calling, you want to be sure that you have outside interests, outside relationships, outside hobbies, other things that you can do that are not directly related to your work. Because you know what? If your work disappears for some reason, and when you retire, a lot of people who are very, very, very identified with the work it is that they are doing find quite a loss there. If they are no longer the teacher, or no longer the lawyer, or no longer, the librarian, or no longer whatever it is, fill in the blank, whatever it is you do, if you are no longer that thing, that role, and don't have other areas built up or created or nurtured, then what? Right? There's a lot that's lost there. So the idea is not to invest absolutely everything into just putting in the hours, hoping that will pay off, to the neglect of all the other things. So the idea is to do a little of both along the way. Work hard, absolutely, but not to the exclusion of the whole rest of who you are and the whole rest of your life. So what can help with career advancement that goes along with hard work? Because we're not saying not to work hard. That's not what we're saying. We're just saying don't only do that, because just working hard is not the path to success that you might think it is. So I could say things like you need to figure out your work-life balance, which I kind of just did, but I could say that in a more general way, or I could say that you need to set yourself some clear career goals. And those things are good, and those things are true, and I've covered both of those things in previous episodes. So I'm not going to say those things in any more detail than I've already said, but I do have some 3 things for you to consider that actually can help with career advancement that need to go along with hard work if you want to get to where you want to be, whatever that looks like for you in your context and in your career. So the first thing that needs to go along with hard work is that you need to advocate for yourself. You need to be your own best advocate, your own best promoter, but not in a bragging kind of way. That's not what I mean. I mean, you need to speak up for yourself and ask for opportunities, ask for trainings, ask for the space and the time and the things that you need in order to be able to get to where you want to be. And if you want to move up or onward, you need to aim for that with a laser focus. And so by building the right relationships, by showing why you should be the one considered to the person who is able to do that for you, as long as you have a good relationship, this is going back to why you need to build good relationships, then aiming with laser focus and being able to speak up and by asking and by showing why you should be the one considered, those are the things that are going to get you moving in the right direction. You know what you can do. You know what your limitations are. And so advocating for yourself when things come your way that will either help or hinder you from reaching your dream is one way to be sure that you are heard. And advocating for yourself involves not only just saying yes to things that come along, but also saying no when you need to set a healthy boundary so that you can work hard on the things that you are needing to focus on and not get too tired or too stressed or too overworked. Now, nothing is guaranteed. There are so many reasons why you might or might not be next in line for that advancement. There are many, many factors at play, but learning how to speak up for yourself and offer is one way to help. I can do that. I can take that task on. I can spearhead that project. I have experience in that area, and I would like the opportunity to put that experience to use. I am interested in learning how to do that, whatever that is. I would be happy to go take that course and learn how to do that so that I can then help in that area, etc. Speak up if you want to head in a particular direction and that you can see that there are things coming that you would like to bid for or ask for or be allowed to do. And also to be able to say, no, I'm focused on this right now, so that I'm not interested in doing, or I'm not able to do that at this time. If you're able to do that, and I fully recognize that this totally depends on what kind of role you're in, what kind of position you're in, what kind of work you're doing. And there are some jobs out there that just, they may have roads to advancement, and it may not be as easy as saying, pick me. There may be things that you have to overcome. There may be things that you have to learn. There may be costs involved if the company's not willing to train you to get the skills you need to move up. There are lots and lots of situations where just speaking up may not be as effective. But if you do have an opportunity, if you do have a chance, and sometimes even if you tell someone else that that's where you see yourself and that's where you'd like to be, then other people might be willing to watch out for opening doors that can help you. More than one set of eyes and ears, maybe your name will come up if something interesting comes along and if they know you're interested in it. If you say absolutely nothing, if you have no relationships built and you're not speaking to anyone about it, then no one's going to know that maybe that's something that you want to do. The second thing that you can do along with hard work is to find a mentor. Working with someone who has been there before you can be one of the fastest ways to advance your career. And it's an excellent way to avoid missteps and mistakes that you might otherwise make. Because if you have a mentor who is ahead of you, who has been there, done that, who knows the ropes and has already walked this road, while their path may not be exactly the same as your path, they are that much farther ahead and may be able to say, ooh, you don't want to do that because of X, Y, Z, or Z. Maybe you want to do this instead, right? So a wise mentor, and a mentor doesn't have to be older than you, by the way. It doesn't have to do with age, but a mentor is somebody who has experienced what you are experiencing or want to experience, and who is willing to be your guide and is willing to walk with you and support you through challenges, etc. A mentor is a guide, someone who you can go to when you have a question or when you come across a stumbling block. A mentor is truly one of the very best ways to move your career to the next level, along with your hard work, along with all the things that you are doing, that you are working towards. But a mentor is absolutely one of the fastest ways to help your career advance. I cannot speak highly enough of finding someone that you trust to work with as a mentor if career advancement is what you are going for. That is the second thing. The third thing is that to add to your hard work goes back to the quote at the beginning. If I had 6 hours to cut down a tree, I'd spend the first 4 sharpening the axe or sharpening the saw. Why? Well, of course, because then it would be a lot faster and easier to cut that tree down. Once the tool was as sharp as it could possibly be, the whole thing will go a whole lot more smoothly, right? So this is about planning. This is about preparation. This is about being smart about the work that you do. This is about taking action, but not just working for the sake of being busy, but taking effective, efficient action, working on the right things. This kind of smart action doesn't mean that you won't have to work hard, but it might mean you don't have to work harder. Work smarter, not harder. Are there ways to streamline or to make your work more efficient and effective that you can see right now from where you're sitting right now? Are there things that you can offload to someone else or delegate? Are there systems that you can implement that would just make everything go more smoothly so that you don't have to work as hard or as much, perhaps, but still get the same outcomes and be as efficient, if not more so? Are there ways to just streamline it? What can you stop doing? And what can you start doing so that you can focus on the things that will make a difference? These are just questions for you in your context to think about. Are there things that you can do to make your work more effective so that you can get to where you want to go eventually? Hard work is not bad in itself, but hard work by itself is not enough anymore. So to sum up as I land the plane here, as they say, career advancement involves the cultivation of relationships, and not just the hi, how are ya kind of relationships, right? Like good, trusting, deeper relationships where you know that colleague or that coworker or that manager has your back, and vice versa. So good, intentional relationships with the people that you're working with. And that takes time. That takes trust, but it is very worth putting in the effort to build those relationships so that you can collaborate and you can work well with others. I was on a call today where there were 5 of us trying to figure out doing something. There were 6 of us. Anyway, there were 6 of us trying to figure out what to do for a particular scenario that's going on at work. And someone came up with an idea that was brilliant that the rest of us hadn't thought of. And the minute she brought this idea up, the energy, I mean, it was on Zoom, so it's hard to tell, but truly the energy and people named it just jumped the level. It was like, yes, people got excited about the idea. What was originally seen to be, oh no, and a letdown was all of a sudden something brand new that the rest of us hadn't even considered before. And there was new energy and new excitement. And it's those kinds of relationships and those kind of collaborations that can make your work more interesting, more meaningful, and energized. And so building relationships with people is an incredible way to advance your career and maybe help the others on their career paths as well, because there's that piece of it too, is helping others as you go through. Career advancement involves being rested and rejuvenated and happy enough in your soul or your spirit to be able to be fully present at work when you are there. So there's that piece of it, is not ignoring the rest of your life because you're working so darn hard, but making sure that you have some outside of work time that will nurture you and help you grow. And who knows what might inspire you when you're not sitting at your desk or working madly on whatever it is you're working on. But when you're out walking in the forest, you never know. So making sure that you have some time away from work is actually good for your career advancement, as weird as that sounds. Career advancement depends on you being able to speak up and advocate for opportunity and for projects and for things that might come your way, and also to be able to advocate for setting boundaries for yourself if you need to. And again, I realize that this is not easy for everyone. It's not even possible for everyone. It can take tremendous courage and fortitude and maybe even some element of risk to step up and step out of a comfort zone and into new territory. But these are all things that can be developed, these skills. And the skill of being able to speak up for yourself in the right context, in the right system, is something that can be learned. So the ability to speak up and advocate for yourself is a very big asset for career advancement. And it can be scary, but doing so can make a huge difference. And having a mentor on your side who can walk with you on this road is exceedingly helpful. A good mentor can make the world of difference as to how you see situations, what you agree to take on or let go of, and in determining what your next move might look like as you are focused on your advancement. Out of all of the suggestions that I'm making today, this one is the one I would highlight: finding yourself a good and trustworthy person to have as a career mentor. And if there isn't anyone in your workplace, is there someone else in your life? Is there someone else in your world who can help you with this? And if you can't find a mentor that is in the industry that you are working in, that has been down this road before, is there someone else who has been on a similar career path, maybe in a different industry, but who you admire and respect, that you would use to look to as a mentor? So it doesn't have to necessarily be somebody who's in the exact same position or same kind of company or industry that you're in. It might be somebody who has been in business or in whatever your industry is, your career path is that you have chosen, that can help you think and walk with you. And if that all fails, there are coaches, right? Shameless plug here. Coaches that can help you with transformation and help you with advancement and getting out of your own way, which is a lot of what I do, is helping people set up systems and streamlining their lives and looking at thinking and limiting beliefs and all of those things so that you can get out of your own way and start to advocate for yourself so that you can move forward. And finally, we have the idea of still working hard. Yes, absolutely, for sure. But maybe focusing on working smarter while you are working hard, while you're doing it, instead of doing even more. Maybe keeping the big picture, your dream of advancement in mind, so that the decisions that you make and the conversations that you have move you in the right direction every single day, efficiently and effectively toward that ultimate career goal, that dream that you've got of where you want to end up in this career that you've got. So hard work is not bad at all, my friend, but hard work alone isn't going to do it. You need some strategy, you need some company along the way, and then success will be much, much easier to reach. I wish you a wonderful and a blessed Easter weekend this weekend if you celebrate Easter, and a wonderful weekend in general in any case, wherever you are. I hope you are safe, and until next time, take good care of you.
You've been listening to Careers by Jenn with Jenn Swanson. If you like what you heard, please share this. You know, if every single person listening today shared this episode with just one friend, our audience would be twice as big just like that. And the more people we can help with our content, the better. So help out a friend and help grow our audience by sharing this show with someone you know who would benefit from the content. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do that, and together we can make a difference. Until next time, take good care.